up everybody, this is Shivam from Dark Army and today we are going to have a look at the roadmap one should follow in case you are starting iOS app dev in 2017. Now there are a ton of videos and articles on the internet, but they are all over the place, none of which gives a clear picture for beginners. As iOS developers, we did some research and came up with a roadmap one should follow in case you're going to start iOS app dev at this time. Keep in mind that this video is not just me talking to you guys, but it's a conversation, so feel free to comment your opinions and ask questions in the comment section. Also, you can find the links of everything I talk about in the description down below. So the first thing we're going to talk about today is prerequisites. One should have a basic understanding of C, C++, Java or Python or any similar languages. Apple has been promoting Swift as a beginner's language, but I don't totally agree with them. I still believe that one must learn C, C++, Java or Python or any similar programming language to start with. And from there we move on to our second step, and that is learning programming languages for iOS app development. Now this question has been there for a long time, that is, what should we learn first, that is Objective-C or Swift? At this point I'd definitely say go with Swift. Swift has been more popular among new learners and companies. Major application companies like Google and Microsoft have been in the process of migrating their software to Swift, but if you want to be the very best iOS developer that ever was, I'd suggest go with Objective-C first and then learn Swift. Once you know Objective-C, Swift will be much easier to learn. Why I'm saying this is because some libraries still use Objective-C. At some point, if you're using a library that uses Objective-C and you have learned only Swift, then you might get into trouble. Point to note here is if you have a strong background in C or C++, then go with Objective-C because it's just a superset of C. From there we go on to a third point, and that is the places you must look out for the learning content. First of all, I'd like to talk about a book. It's named Programming in Objective-C by Stephen Kochan. This book has been known as the Bible for iOS developers. Pretty sure that every iOS developer out there must have read this book at least once. I must have read it at least 10 times. For those who are starting with Swift, I'd recommend just go with the Apple Swift documentation and Swift books because they are pretty self-explanatory. For video lectures, go find Paul Hegarty's Stanford sessions on iOS. You can find them on iTunes podcast and they are free. I can guarantee you that after watching his lectures, you can start making iOS apps like a pro. For help relating to individual components or topics, I'd recommend going to Ray Wenderlich or AppCoda. Things like how to make a table view or how to show an alert in a view. From there we go on to our fourth step, and that is troubleshooting. Now the biggest savior of all time is of course Stack Overflow. Trust me when I say I've spent more time on Stack Overflow than Apple's own developer website. Apple's developer forums are another place to look at. They're not as helpful as Stack Overflow, but they are another place to get answers at. There are other social medias you can look at like Reddit and Facebook. And last but not least, it's 2017. Learn to Google already. Most likely someone already had encountered the same problem. It is said that give people Google, Stack Overflow, Command C and V keys and they can make you an app. I'm not even kidding. And once you have done this, we move on to our fifth step, and that is start making stuff. Make an app. One thing that changed iOS development for me was making HTTP requests, getting the results from a server, showing them in the app. It opened a lot more opportunities. From there we move on to our sixth point, and that is once you're sure you can make an app, it's time for you to tell the world about it. Get a developer's license from Apple. It's like $99. It's just like a gym membership. You pay for the service, you work hard to utilize the service. Make an app, upload it, see what people say. Make your app open source, ask people to contribute. If not, then look for some open source projects on GitHub and try contributing to them. Make a portfolio website for further discovery. Before we move on to the next step, I'd like to talk about what inspired me. It was this quote that inspired me. Absolutely not. There was no such quote. Money. Money was the biggest motivator. Keeping this in mind, we move on to our last step, and that is getting paid for your freshly acquired talent. And first thing to keep in mind is freelancing. You can find freelance job all over the internet, something like Freelancer or many such websites that do the same task. What you can do is find a startup or people who would like to hire you to make their new product. One thing to note is don't work on already made products. Making a new product will be more helpful to you guys than working on an already made project. Also keep in mind that apply to companies with good backgrounds. And I think that's all we have for this video. If you like this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up and subscribe for more such videos. This is Shubham from Dark Army and catch you guys later.